If you do not make smoothies or ice cream right now at home, you're not going to make it in university. Don't kid yourself. Does this not happen in America? Somebody please needs to tell me. Hey y'all, I'm Shauna. Welcome in or welcome back to the channel. Back to school season is well underway. Some of y'all are already back to school, or your kids are back to school. Some of y'all are about to go back to school. Where I live, people going back, it's about 2 weeks away. So we are right in the thick of it. So I think now is the most fitting time to talk about dorm hauls. Yes, today we are going to be talking about TikToks from people who are recommending stuff to buy for dorms and dorm life, some from upper year students, some from folks who are just about to move in. Despite not going back to school myself, I very much love back to school content. I don't care how far removed I am from that. I still think it's so fun to see people excited, and I remember how excited I was. So we're going to be talking about that today. More than my usual content, we have really young folks, teenagers, 17 and 18, folks who are moving off to school, going and leaving home for the first time. And I absolutely want to encourage thoughtful purchasing and thoughtful choices. And so this video and the lens of this video is really along those lines. What perspective am I bringing to this video? Let me tell you. So I lived in a dorm for 3 out of my 4 years of university, and I lived in 3 different buildings. I was an RA for 2 of those years, and I helped students move in for 3 of my 4 years of university. And I've actually witnessed a couple of move-ins over the years. I've seen some at Guelph. Holla if any of y'all from Guelph. I also got to see one at Harvard. I happened to be in Cambridge doing some research during the Harvard move-ins. And after the move-ins I experienced, I was shocked at, at the whole situation. The silence of it, the very orderly conduct, police were involved, very much counter to the experience that I had. And that's going to be one of the themes of this video that we will talk about more as we go through. I also did dorm inspections for 2 years, and my school had about 14 dorms, and I had been in 12 of the 14, I believe. And I inspected a few buildings, probably like 3 buildings, something like that, maybe 4, over the years. So I've seen lots of angles of student life, or I should say dorm living. I'm coming from the perspective of somebody who's moved people in and who learned dorm regulations. And I feel like you do hold a bit of a different perspective when you are somebody who is on the other side of also given many a dorm tour. And if that's a perspective for today. So let's get into it. And the first one we are going to watch is this dorm advice video. The official title of this video is College Essentials That You Wouldn't Think Of. And this video is from 2 girls who are at the end of their freshman year. So let's watch.
If you're coming to college in the fall, here are some things you actually need for your dorm.
These are things you wouldn't normally think of.
If you think you don't need a vacuum cleaner, that's a lie, because you definitely do, and you shed a lot more than you think that you do.
Don't get a tiny one, invest in a good vacuum. If you think you can survive off of tiny trash cans, you need a big one.
Also, tweezers. You need tweezers. And nail clippers.
Yes.
Don't forget those.
Yes. You need a big Brita. This tiny little Brita will fill up 1 cup of water. You need a big one. One of these multiple hanger things, so you can put like a bunch of clothes on one, and it takes up less space.
And bring like all your medicine, because you're going to get sick. And if you're like us, you're going to be sick for like 4 months. So just bring a lot of medicine.
You need a fan, specifically a Woozu. They're so good.
For example. And last but not least, you need chip clips.
And an ottoman.
I think the energy in this video is representative of a ton of videos out there of upper year students or people who have completed the year who are ultimately trying to impart helpful advice to other students or to first year students or prospective students. And if I could impart you with one message in this video, Like if you don't want to watch any further, I guess let me save you the time. The TLDR of this video is that dorm essentials don't exist. These are essentials for these women or these girls. These were really helpful to them and their experience, and them sharing it is not out of a harmful place. It's really out of a helpful place and trying to help other students. The reason, though, why I say dorm essentials don't exist is that there is a wide array of dorm designs out there, not to mention dorm rules. And I'm just one person with one example, and I think that alone is going to be good enough to illustrate my point. So we have recommendations for a vacuum and a fan, 2 electronic items. And we'll stick for this for now. Where I went to school, vacuums were rentable. So you would go to one of the dorm hubs, you would pick up a vacuum, get it for about an hour, vacuum your room, and then you'd bring it back. So there was never a need for a vacuum. Still in the vacuum train, some dorms don't have carpets. Some of them are just like tile floors of some kind. So if you have tile, you could theoretically use a vacuum, but what may be helpful more than a vacuum might be like a broom and or a mop or a Swiffer of some kind. So getting a vacuum, let alone buying a vacuum, would probably not be the most helpful tool. As for the fans, some schools do not allow students to bring electronic items like fans. This might also include space heaters. There's a ton of electronic items that can be not allowed in your particular school. And this can be related to something like a fire hazard, but quite often it is related to the energy capacity of a room. Maybe energy is the wrong word, but the electrical capacity of a room. You have too many electronics plugged in at once, you blow a fuse, and sometimes some things take up more energy than others. And so because a school might not be able to regulate fans and say you could only bring this kind of fan or this kind of fridge, they just say don't bring it altogether. And these girls, they don't talk about what kind of dorm that they live in, whether they were in a suite style, so kind of like an apartment living, whether they lived in a traditional dorm or they lived in some kind of hybrid situation. There are a ton of different dorm styles out there, let alone dorm designs. We don't really know what their experience was and what somebody might think of as an essential and what might legitimately be an essential for somebody who lives in a suite style might not be the actual essential that somebody might need if they lived in a double room. Some dorms come with bathrooms in singles, doubles, or quads. Others, a whole floor shares a bathroom. And so we, again, don't know. And so before you take people's advice on the internet and their idea of essentials, I would think about what you actually know about your school and what these recommendations, how much information you have from them. To go back to the fan example, some dorms are old and don't have AC or really shitty AC. Others have great AC. Where I went, AC was actually not the problem. It was the heating that was the problem. The dorms never got really warm. So a lot of people had space heaters or brought them in like illegally, if you will, or against the rules because it was just so cold. So what is much more helpful, in my opinion, than buying recommendations from people on the internet is to move into your school first, actually live in the dorm and suss out the situation before going and buying stuff. Because you can always buy the vacuum later. You can always buy the fan later. You could buy your chip clips later. Like you could buy all of this stuff later. You are not removed from reality or like civilization. There's just not magically like you're never really that far from a store or a mall or a Target. Like we're not going into the wilderness. And so you don't need to bring in every possible thing that you could ever possibly need before you move in. Let's now watch this dorm haul. It is very close to 500,000 views. And this is from a freshman who is just about to enter college.
I've done quite a lot of shopping for my dorm next year, and I'm actually sweating from bringing it all in here, so let's do a haul. Okay, the first thing we ordered months ago that kind of established our theme was these light up signs. My roommate and I have our name, and they're hot pink. For the bed, we have these decorative Laura Ashley pillows that are like pink and have pinstripes and floral. A heated plush blanket for the winter, because I can't sleep without one. Light pink silk pillowcases, pillow, a comfy memory foam one. My friend got me this that'll match the sign. A mattress cover to keep the gross mattress in a bag. We have a pair of sheets for me and my roommate, same brand, Laura Ashley. Then a bed skirt. It's gonna be way too tall because our beds aren't lofted, but we're just gonna like tie it or hem it, do something to it. And then my mattress topper, my mom said Tempur-Pedic is the best one. So then my friend also got me a Love Shack fancy laundry tote. It's a backpack and it has my name embroidered underneath, which is so cute. And it matches, so that's probably the best part of the room. Then for my desk, that's all this bin. Okay, I haven't finished putting it together, but this is like a spinning organizer that you can put the shelves however high you want for different products. Then a gold jewelry holder with like rings and a little spot for like bracelet. A cute little picture holder that's cowboy boots, and it's the pink and gold of our room. This little gold spinning thing for like my actual school supplies. My roommate and I got these matching. Then a mini trash can that's like skinny that'll go under just my desk. We're getting a bigger one for the room, but my roommate got that. Trash bags. And then this little frame that's white with a bow. It's so cute. And then 2 decorations. I got this gold balloon animal. Then I made this little vase of fake tulips. And they're so cute, and I put some pebbles in.
One of the most exciting things about going to college is having your own space and having it be yours. If you live with a parent or guardian before moving out, like you've never lived on your own, you are still like living under your parents' roof and you still abide by their rules. And there's also a good chance that your room was designed by younger you. This is like the first place you get to live as an adult, making most, if not all, of the decisions about what you want. But also it's very special to be like, it's a symbol, I think, for a lot of people that I am out on my own, and decorating this room is commemorative of, or symbolic, is probably a better word, of being an adult and like being out on the world for my first time and making my own choices. There is so much excitement that goes into the whole dorm situation. And I think this encourages people to consider their dorm like their first home. And so people want to furnish it and decorate it because of this excitement and because that it's theirs. And so what I see in a lot of these videos are this like desire for knickknacks and decorating the bed and the pillows and like the little, you know, like little knickknacks and the vase and this and that. None of this is necessary to have an amazing time at college. Truly, truly. And if I had to generalize anything about dorms, it's that they're usually on the smaller side. You have all these extra tidbits are just going to add clutter to your space that is most likely already going to be tight. And then we buy things that are extra work to maintain, like getting lots of pillows for your bed, as an example, or buying a bed skirt. Bed skirts can be really hit or miss, and them being successful really depends on your room and your layout. Bed that I've had has had under bed storage. Sometimes they're pull-out drawers. Other times they're not lofted, but there will be like space to roll stuff underneath. And a bed skirt, not necessary in a lot of cases. And if you do have a lofted bed, or you do have under bed storage, even if it's high, bed skirts usually impede your ability to access whatever's under there. And the other thing about this is that dorm living is usually, for most people, about a year. So we're buying stuff and sinking money into decor and such that we are really only planning to use for a year. Have you actually thought about what is going to happen after first year? In most cases, not, which is normal, and you don't need to think about that quite yet. And wherever we live past first year, even if you're like, oh yes, I'm going to rent a house, that bedroom, that storage is going to be different than what you already have. And ultimately, what I think is like really the case with stuff like this is buying stuff in order to build excitement and buying stuff in order to get excited about college. And because you have this monumental thing, we can really justify spending money and spending more money than we might ordinarily because it feels like it's such a big deal. You are absolutely allowed to be excited, but that doesn't have to translate into buying lots of stuff. I personally feel like, this is just my opinion, that in many cases, stuff that we have at home is going to work just as well. Like, what do you currently store your makeup brushes in? What do you currently store your school supplies in? What do you currently store your bathroom stuff in? Maybe not everything will work one for one, but we don't inherently need duplicates just because we're moving. And in my opinion anyways, I feel like taking what we already have at home, like our makeup storage, is already something we're familiar with and something we already know that works and is extra maybe pertinent to bring with us because we don't need duplicates. We're not living at home. At most, you'll be at home for a few weeks during winter break. That's probably the longest break that you'll have while still living in your dorm, like in your first year. So having duplicates, like what happens to all of this stuff once you're done first year? Where does it go? What do you do with it? Where do you put it? Where do you put this wall sign? Where do you put these knickknacks and the duplicate makeup storage or jewelry holders? And using what you have already is not just a money saver, but it's going to save you potentially headaches down the line of having to move it back home. And also, you think it's fun and exciting to pack all of your stuff to go. Packing your stuff to leave is a headache. I've done it 3 times. Actually 4 times, but 3 times in a dorm. In a dorm, they give you like no time to pack up your stuff and leave. Quite often, it's under 48 hours. Sometimes you might get lucky and you might get more. And there are tons of rules out there where schools are different. Some schools might give you more time. It's not a lot of time to pack up your shit and get out of there. It's a super stressful time, so we don't need to be adding more stress buying stuff to begin with to then even have to think about the packing and all of that later on. What is super common in these videos, what we're seeing here is somebody who is buying storage and decor for a room they most likely haven't been in. You might be able to see a tour, or perhaps you've been on a tour, but that's not every person in every room. And also there can be variations like within a dorm itself. Like there's more variety than you might assume in a dorm. So you don't know that the room that you saw on the tour or you saw online is going to be your room. And also, even if you've seen it, did you measure the drawers? Did you measure the closet? Like, do you actually know how much closet space you have? You could be buying stuff for a room that like the stuff just doesn't fit. One year I had a colossal closet that is bigger than the closet I have at this house. The other year I had a tiny closet that, I kid you not, like this frame. Well, maybe not in you watching it, but my monitor is bigger width than the closet that I had. Buying stuff when you don't really know the situ can be a mistake. You can buy stuff once you're there. You don't have to buy everything beforehand. We're now going to watch a video from an upper year student who is giving dorm advice, like in store, on what to buy from Target.
If you're going to be a freshman in college, listen up. Just finished my freshman year and have to live another year in dorms. It's exactly what you'll need, specifically from Target. Colored or pattern towels. Do not get white. Don't. If you have communal bathrooms, shower shoes, specifically these sheets, have to get the Threshold Twin XL one. An extra elastic piece on it that holds everything on your bed in place. Not your mattress cover and pad will move around. I promise you. Definitely get one of these. When you want to just go brush your teeth, you don't have to bring everything with you. 100% get a desk lamp. Will wish you had one. But that's just any extra lighting. The more the merrier. Get a full body mirror. This one is really cute. You can get one that goes over the door. This one's kind of controversial. Skip out on these. Just use paper plates and bowls. Not gonna want to be doing dishes, especially in a bathroom sink.
Again, somebody imparting advice, and it's not terrible advice, most especially because it's built on her experience. And this will be the last time I say it. I promise. I promise. Wait till you move in. Just wait. Because very common for dorms to come with a desk lamp. Also, I don't think we've seen it quite yet, but there's an obsession I've seen with people buying trash cans. A lot of dorms come with trash cans and recycling bins. Many rooms will come furnished with stuff. And the people online can make it seem like your room comes with nothing. You have no mirrors, you have no lights, you have nothing. Some dorms might be like that. You don't know until you walk in. And you might go searching up your rules, like what does my dorm come with? Maybe you can find those things online, maybe not. But you're never that far from a store. You know, and a lot of times, depending on the size of the campus, you might have stuff to purchase on campus. And I've learned from some of y'all, like when I was talking about waste from dorms and move outs and things like that, some of y'all have talked about secondhand programs that exist on your campus. And you might be able to buy some of this stuff in the secondhand marketplace by your campus. And even if your school doesn't have like a physical location that you can buy from, like Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, wait, what do y'all use? Craigslist? Do y'all still use Craigslist? The secondhand marketplaces in college towns are going to be way better than the secondhand marketplace where you are, because it's a lot of college students trying to offload stuff to other college students. As for like the paper plates and stuff, your dorm might not come with the kitchenette, but many of them do. Like, also, maybe you just have to enlighten me because the Canadian landscape just might be different. I have never been into a dorm. No, that's not true. There are some dorms that don't have them, but it's very common, at least in Canadian dorms, I should say, that there is a common room with like a regular sink, regular size fridge, oven, stove combination that's like shared by the floor. And also usually like a couch and a TV for people on the floor to gather. Does this not happen in America? Somebody please needs to tell me. This is also exactly why you gotta wait, because you could be coming to me and you be coming to my video and you could be like, oh, the girl on the internet said that I don't need to buy this, and this. And then you get to your dorm and you realize, oh shit, we don't have a kitchenette. We don't have any AC. We don't have heating. We have carpet floors and they're trash. Like, you just don't know what you're going to walk into. Go to your mom, okay? Go to your grandma. Go to your aunt. I bet you they have cups, plates, mugs, towels that they would happily give you to move out. I never bought any towels in freshman year or any time. I just took some ones from home. You do not need towels because you're going off to school. One does not necessitate the other. Save yourself some money. And it's also kind of comforting, I think, to use the towels that you grew up using. I don't know if you feel like me, but that's just like, it's like a cute thing, you know? The shower shoes are right though. You don't necessarily need to buy them. Any kind of flip-flops will do. Slides will do as well. Whatever you got. You don't necessarily need to buy new stuff, but definitely do the shower shoes. Okay, we're now going to watch a dorm essentials haul as a college freshman called College Dorm Essentials. Let's do it.
This is my dorm essentials haul, part 1. First, we're going to start with the bath and bedding. I got 6 washcloths, 2 hand towels, and then I just got 3 normal size towels. All 3 of these from Target. Okay, next thing I got are pillows. I got 2 ginormous king size down alternative pillows. And then I got this little cute big pillow. It just gives it to me. This is all I got for pillows on my bed so far. Alright. This is what I got for blankets. We got this Kate Spade down alternative comforter. That was kind of pricey, like $70. Then I got this Steve Madden other blanket. It's pink. I love pink, y'all. This gives it to me too. And then I just went and grabbed these two throws just to look cute. And my recommendation to you, get a comforter. Next up, y'all, is storage. And here I got cheap little hamper. These little cubic things are also from Dollar Tree. Then I got this jewelry organizer. Just keep everything since I didn't want it out. I got this from TJ Maxx. I got command hooks, y'all. You're gonna need them because dorms don't allow you to put hooks on their walls. Then I have this cute little yarn organizer thing. I actually have no idea what I'm gonna put in this, but it was cute, so I got it. This is some more storage stuff. First are these like makeup organizers, and then this is supposed to be for makeup. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in it, but I don't think it's gonna be makeup. I got velvet hangers. Get velvet hangers so your stuff doesn't fall off. I got these from TJ Maxx for like $12. I went and got this like a hanging closet organizer. I want to maximize your space, so get a lot of storage stuff. All right. Oh, now we got the core. I got some fake plans. This one was gifted to me. This one I got at Target. This one I got at Target as well. It's how she just have it and time to take your notes. Then I got this cute little mini light gifted to me. I gotta get a light bulb for it, but it's so cute. It's smaller, that's probably gonna go on my nightstand. I have this adorable golden, so I set my perfumes on. It was also gifted to me. Then I just got these string lights from Target. The ones I got in the background. And then I got this pink rug, y'all. It's so cute and soft. This was also gifted to me. I actually found this at a garage sale. It's farmhouse vibes. I don't know, I really liked it. Alright, y'all. The last section of things I got, these are like extras or North Face book bag that was gifted to me. Inside of it is some stuff I ordered from Amazon. iPad screen protector, iPad.
Let's go in order. Decorative pillows. Don't do it. That's my recommendation. You think it's going to be cute now because you're making your bed and you're like, oh, my bed to look cute. Question for you now. Are you the kind of person that makes your bed every day now? If not, this is just like extra stuff that you're probably not going to maintain. And number two, a lot of people, they like to buy the extra pillows. Where are you going to put them when you go to sleep? The floors are nasty. The girlies haven't lied to you. The floors are nasty, whether they are cement or whether they are tiled or whatever you got. Carpet, doesn't matter. Floors are nasty. Don't put your pillows on the floors. So where are you going to put them? It just creates clutter and then it's a whole thing. So we don't need that. We don't need to buy towels. To use what you have at home. And also whatever you use to take off your makeup now, like you don't need to buy something different. If you use washcloths to take off your makeup at home, bring those with you. And you also typically don't need hand towels unless you want to bring your hand towel with you every time you use the bathroom. We have a specific purpose in mind for it. Generally not necessary. Command hooks. Many schools will provide something like this for you. When I left, I took a hoard. They weren't command hooks. They were like double-sided sticky stuff that were excellent, by the way, and really great for posters. So I used up my last stash from college in which I graduated from in 2016. I used them up last year in 2023. The command hooks and the fake potted plants in the decor, that's not the important stuff that we need to make room for in our bags and in our moving that we can always buy later. And I kind of want to die on this hill a little bit because once your room is set up, then you realize, okay, actually, I don't have the space that I need for this decor item, or I have more space than I need. Maybe it might be more practical to have X thing. String lights are super cute. I am a big fan of the string light. Go off on the string light. Hangers. My take is to just bring your hangers from home, because if you're not living at home and you've taken all of the clothes from home, it just makes sense to me to bring the hangers with you. And like maybe you go home for 2 weeks and you don't have the cutest setup, like it is what it is. That's my take. We don't need to, in my opinion, don't need to buy like double sets of hangers. Also, I think buying rugs are generally not a great idea. Most especially when you have carpet. And also, if you are going to buy a rug, don't do the shaggy rugs because those are really hard to take care of and often they're synthetic fibers, which like don't do well being washed if you can wash them at all. and then they get dirty and matted really quickly, and then they are often more difficult to clean when you do clean them, you are most likely going to clean your room far less than you would like or that you would think that you would. Even if you clean it regularly, just a rug just often gets in the way and isn't necessary and just isn't going to be practical like you think that it will, and just gets like disheveled and dirty and hard to care for. And then it's kind of garbage in many cases after a year. I've seen many a rug be thrown out after a year because of these exact reasons. One thing also that I want to touch on just a second is that many folks bring stuff that because they think that they're going to be different when they're at school. Like I've seen espresso machines or like Nespresso machines or Keurigs. I've seen people bring blenders or I brought a blender. I brought a mini blender. If you do not make smoothies or ice cream right now at home, you're not going to make it in university. Don't kid yourself. Don't waste your money. Like maybe, again, this is something you're allowed to change your mind on later. And also, many times, meal plans are mandatory in order to live on campus, even if you don't get a full meal plan. And then also, as school ramps up, you get busier and busier, and then you want to spend less time making stuff in your dorm. So the people who bring the Keurigs and the espresso machines often find themselves getting the takeout coffee after a few weeks. Like they stop using those things. There's always exceptions to every rule. And I've seen people who are like, yes, I use my Keurig every day and I make this, and this. Those people tend to be the exceptions than the rule. If you feel so inclined, wait till you're there. Buy it in a few weeks if you feel like it's really missing from your life. And then also you get spared the space and the time of moving the stuff in. All right, last one we're going to talk about today is a freshman dorm haul.
I got some things for my dorm, so here's a haul. Okay, first, I got a Woozu fan from Target. This was so much cheaper than the Amazon one, surprisingly. And I got an ice maker, which was also cheaper than the Amazon one, so run to Target. Okay, next I got this rolling hamper. I personally think that I'm gonna like this way better than a backpack, so that's what I got. It has a handle and wheels, so. Okay, in this box is all of my medicine. I can make another video on this if I need to, but it's just like basic stuff that I know that I'm definitely gonna need for frat flu. Okay, in this box is cleaning supplies. I can also make another video on what's in here, but it's really just basic stuff, I'd say. Okay, I got 2 pink bathroom mats for me and my suite mates since I do have my own bathroom. And then these are my hand towels. They're just a little blue, and there's some washcloths too. I also have a sink in my room, so I'm thinking I'm gonna put these like in the cabinet, like hanging over the edge, if you know what I mean. And I got a cute little gold soap dispenser for my sink too. Okay, I got Tide Pods and then these dryer sheets for laundry. And then I also got wool laundry balls because I heard that these are really good for dorm washers and dryers. And then I also got chip clips and these like sheet suspenders so my sheets don't fall off. And then the last thing, I think this is the last thing, just a blanket. This is gonna go under my comforter so it's like softer.
So in this example, she is telling us a little bit about where she's going to be living. So none of the other creators that we saw talked about where they're living and what kind of dorm they're living in. So this is helpful to provide context on what she's talking about. And unless you also live in a suite, a lot of what she's showcased is not relevant. Like, you live in a traditional dorm, an ice maker is, where are you even going to put it in most cases? Hers might be big enough where this is like going to be a thing and she can like actually put it somewhere. If you are living in a suite, I mean, even if you have a roommate, it's just 2 of you, I would absolutely encourage you, and like most especially if you have multiple roommates, to like talk to each other about like who's going to bring what. I'm not saying she didn't do that, and I'm actually going to just assume that she did. Like, we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt because it can be awkward to like, everybody brings bath mats, everybody brings hand towels, everybody brings kitchen towels. Everybody brings whatever. And they like, everybody brought a soap pump and all of that kind of thing. So you talk to your roommates beforehand and you can delegate. Sure, things like laundry, you can keep that personal to yourself. If it were me and I was moving into a suite, I personally wouldn't be buying an ice maker because I would want to see the setup. You don't really know what the fridge situation is going to be like. Maybe there truly is no capacity to make ice. Sure, then maybe that works great. Or maybe you can get a used one that is around campus, probably for a better price. But the last thing I want to talk about are all of her medications. I've seen so many of these hauls in which people are bringing, she has a full drawer of medication. And I do understand the impetus to this. And I also understand the fear of getting sick and perhaps having that impede your ability to study. If it were me, I would bring the basics. Advil, Tylenol, or both, depending on like what you currently use, some Band-Aids, and whatever else you use regularly right now. So if you have allergy medication or like other medication that you take personally, like prescription medication, obviously bring that. If you use rubbing alcohol quite often, or like in a given 3-4 month period, you use rubbing alcohol, sure. If you take Midol or anything of that nature, bring that. The rest of it you can get as needed or when you're there. If you're not using it regularly or at least on, let's say, like a bi-monthly basis, you're fine buying it once you're there to, again, save you time, space, and energy. And then a lot of the stuff that people get, like all of the Dayquil and NyQuil and all of the extras are mostly like fear or people like preparing for situations that just might not arise. Many schools have first aid response or first aid teams on campus where you don't need an extensive first aid kit. A couple of emergency kind of things is totally fine, but extensive first aid kits are generally like, I mean, if you bought one, I'm not gonna complain about that. But if you're like, should I bring one? Should I not? Like, you're on the fence about it. You're generally fine. If you're not the kind of person that like gets giant scrapes at home, you're probably not going to be getting them when you're at school. And I just think it's the fear and people trying to be over prepared, which leads to many of these kinds of purchases. Also, like, are you the kind of person that does get sick a lot? And when you do get sick, what do you have on hand? I get a lot of stomach problems. So just really think about, how do you live your life right now? What do you actually use right now? And that's going to take care of a lot of circumstances when you go off to college. And let me just be so frank right now. We're going to have a moment, okay? The thing about your college experience or your freshman experience is not going to be made by your neon sign or all of the cute decor that you have in your room. It's not going to be made by your cute Target towels or your cute sheets. That's not what's going to make it. What's going to make it are the people that you meet, the attitude that you bring to school, and, your residence experience. Like, that's going to be the kind of thing that is going to make or break your residence experience. I know a ton of students who are international students or who flew like from across the country, didn't bring much, and had a phenomenal time. How much you bring to school with you is not going to be an indicator of your time, how much fun you have, or the people that you're going to meet, or how good those people are in terms of like being friends or being lifelong friends. You're not inherently going to enjoy yourself more or less because you had down pillows or because you had extra decor on your bed. There's certain things that may make your life more comfortable, like having some extra blankets. I get that. Or making sure you have a comfortable study space. I get that. One of the things I do get though is seeing all of these videos and seeing people haul all of this stuff, and also seeing many of the same items, like seeing the same laundry baskets or sheets or fans, can make you feel like you need it too, or that in order to live well or live comfortably or have a good time that you need this stuff. This is not true. I just feel like the attitude brought to these videos and like how people shop and the process of shopping is very similar to some of the other content that I talk about. Not necessarily the worst cases of overconsumption, but I think representative of the like buy first mentality and wanting to, or like the gut impulse going to Target as like your first instinct, or buying all of the stuff before you get to school and using the back to school time as an opportunity to shop and using shopping in order to build excitement about your first year experience. And these are themes that we've talked about in other videos on this channel. The last thing to talk about, I think today, would be things like clothes and like accessories and stuff. Here's what happens. Y'all, I have observed this. I went through this myself. I observed it every year for 3 additional years. You bring all of your cutest stuff and you wear all of your cutest stuff for Frosh, and you dress up and you wear all your whatever, and you like are getting to know people. Dude, that goes downhill so quick after a few weeks, and by the time midterms go around, people are wearing whatever they usually wear at home. Like the sweatpants or the sweatshorts or the leggings and the hoodies, and putting their hair up in the bun or whatever, the braid, whatever you do at home. And all of the cute clothes, they go out the window so quickly. Trust me when I say, barring some, okay, maybe this applies to everybody except the girls in the sorority, because I don't know what sorority life is like. Sororities aren't quite the thing that they are in Canada as they are in the US. And in many schools, sororities are banned from being on campus. It's a whole thing, story for another time. But aside from sorority life, because I know nothing about it, this is what happens. So don't let people on the internet convince you need to buy all this stuff to have a great time at university, because you don't. I promise you, you don't. So yes, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. I would love to have you subscribe to catch more content like this, and I hope to see you again around here soon. Oh, I just hit myself in the face. Bye.